Hey, what's up, guys? Officer Uncle here. Wait, hold on, give me 1 second. Unit 123 to dispatch, go ahead. Okay. We got a runner. What's the runner's location? Copy that, he's right near me. I'm en route. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go deal with the runner real quick. Oh, Jimmy, get back here! Jimmy, what did I tell you about running? Man. Ooh, Jimmy. Sorry, guys. Old Jimmy here likes running. Alright, stand up. Come on, Jimmy. Can't even... Alright, guys. Don't go anywhere. I gotta take Jimmy back down to the station. I'll meet you guys there. What's up, guys? It's Dakota, aka Officer Runkle, if you couldn't tell by the first part. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a training dummy. And I have my brother here, Tyler, holding the camera, so you can't see him at the moment. Alright, Tyler, could you please show the what we got here? So what we got here today is a 40-pound punching bag over there. That's each one of those is half of a wrapping paper, the center. We have 1 pillow pet, 1 hoodie, and 2 blankets. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you have a punching bag, if not, I'll show you guys how to make another one right after this. You're going to want to stand it up like this. Now, when you have it stood up like that, that's good because then you know kind of what you got to do. First thing you're going to want to do is take these blankets, fold them in half, just like this, lay them out on the floor. Now, when you lay them out on the floor, you're going to take one of your halves of the wrapping paper, you're going to put it at the edge, and you're going to start rolling it. This is what's going to help you to create your arms. So, as you roll, you start getting a longer shape here. So, what you're going to want to do with the side that has the wrapping paper roll right here, you're going to take that and the hoodie that you have. Can be a long sleeve t-shirt too, just got to be long sleeved. You're going to take it and you're going to shove it into one of the sleeves, like so. You don't want to make it too thick down there, because then if, let's say, you're trying to handcuff them, as you saw me try to do in the beginning part, it gets pretty hard to do. So, suggest kind of maybe pulling some of that out a little bit so you kind of see it, so it's thinner. Then, you're going to do the same thing with the other blanket. Now, try to keep the blankets the same thickness, because this blanket's a little bit thicker, so it's going to be harder to use, but you can use them if they're 2 different thicknesses. And then you're going to do the same thing as mentioned in the first one. You're going to roll this one. Don't let it unravel like that. You're going to keep rolling until you get to the very end. And then, like so. Now you got another rolled up blanket here. You're going to do the same thing as you did with the first one. You're just going to put it in the other arm now. Like so. So. Sometimes you got to work them in there a little bit. That's fine. Just make sure you get it pretty much all the way in the sleeve. Here. If it starts coming out and you don't have a blanket down there, just kind of put your hand to the other side. Just start pulling that, and then that'll kind of go back in there. Alright, now you got your arms completed. So what you're going to do there is, if you have a punching bag, you're going to take the hoodie and put it over the top of them, like so. But before we do that, one thing I want to make sure you guys know is that make sure whatever you're using, if it's a punching bag, a bigger punching bag, make sure you can at least pick it up enough to where if you have to throw them, you can. So that's just one little tip that I like. The chains are fine on it. You can leave those on there. So, like I said earlier, we're going to put this top. Make sure the arms are out of the way first. Make sure you get it all the way on there. So, as you can see, that line there. Now, can use it like this if you want, but a little touch I like to add is you can take a small pillow pet, if you have one, stuffed animal, whatever you would like that has a head on it. You can kind of just take it, put it right here, and then just to keep them tight, pull your hoodie strings a little bit. Make sure you see his eyes if you would like. If not, just put it up there so you got a head. See? Now, give it a name. So, for the sake of this time, I'm going to call my old pal here Jimmy. Now, stay tuned for how to build another one out of more simple, common household materials. Thank you. Guys, what's up? Dakota back here. Today I teach you how to make another training dummy, but out of some more common household materials if you don't have a punching bag as stated in the previous one. Alright, so for this one, Tyler, if you could follow me. In case you guys didn't know, if you weren't listening the first time, Tyler's my brother. He's here helping me holding the camera. Just kind of walking around with me. So, for this one, you're going to need a couple blankets. I grabbed 5 blankets there. You may need more, depending on how thin they are, how thick they are. Two halves of a gift wrap roll. Then 1 pillow pet, just like the other one. 2 pillows and a toolbox. Wait, a toolbox? Why do we need a toolbox? Well, you don't really need the toolbox. I just got one in here because I felt like having one. So, what you really need out of this toolbox is you're going to need a jacket or a hoodie like the other one, pair of pants for the legs, then you're going to need some scissors and some twine. We'll get into why you need these in a little bit. So, just close up my toolbox here, put it on the table. Alright, the first step of what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the jacket and make the body first. So, for making the body, we're going to do the same thing as in the previous one. We're going to take 2 blankets, just fold them in half, nothing more. Lay them out, make sure there's no wrinkles. Take one of your wrapping paper roll halves, then roll the blanket. Make sure it's not too much like untucked right there. Then you're just going to keep rolling until you get all the way to the end. And you're going to want to make 2 of those. So I'm going to take another blanket of the same thickness. This one might be a little bit thicker, but it's fine. Still does the same thing. Make sure it's laid out nice and flat. Take your other half, line up to one of the edges, roll it. Make sure that corner's tucked in. That can mess you up right there. Just keep making sure nothing comes untucked, nothing comes unrolled. Just go nicely. If you gotta pull it, make sure there's nice and tight. You can do that as well. So you're gonna keep going like so till you have 2. Now, where you put the wrapping paper rolls, the halves, you're going to take those. Those are what you want to be the bottom, because that's what's going to create a sturdy base on his hands. Then, you're going to take your jacket or hoodie. For this one, I'm going to be using a jacket. Lay it out, then just take those arms and put them directly through. Now, for mine, I got to do my jacket there. The wrist, you might have to do that with some of yours, depending on what kind of jackets you guys may be using. Kind of pull it through here. So, you might have some trouble, so if you see what I'm doing, just kind of wiggling it through the wrist there. Now, it's okay if you got a little excess, that's good. It means you made your arms just the right length. You're going to do the same thing with the other arm. Put it right into the other side here. Alright. So, there you go. Now you got what looks like 2 little hands and arms inside of this jacket. Now, for the next part, what you're going to want to do is lay the jacket out flat with the arms out to the side. Make sure you can see the inside of the jacket, like so. sure everything's folded out, arms are nice. You're going to take a pillow or two, put them right here inside of the jacket. This one, I'm going to be using 2 pillows, putting them right in here so you have a nice body. Then, what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to zipper your jacket up here. So now, oh, mine's got a collar, so you gotta zip it all the way up. Now, you got what looks like a body for your training dummy. Alright, now onto the legs here. So, for this one, I'm using a pair of old sweatpants. I'm gonna lay these out flat. That's where the other blankets come into play, because these we want to take, not fold it in half again, but, well, yeah, you're going to want to fold it in half one way this way, and then for, again, the other direction, so that you have what almost looks like long enough to make legs. Now, instead of using wrapping paper rolls for this one, you don't have to do anything. So what you're going to do is, you're going to fold it right here, make sure everything's tucked in, then you're going to roll. Now, again, make sure nothing comes untucked, and you just keep rolling. Alright, so, you're going to want to make 2 leg-sized rolls. You can take your other blanket now, do the same thing, only fold it in half once. Then, you're going to fold it in half again, like that, and you're going to fold it. Now, it's alright if they're not the same size, as long as they're close. As you can see, mine are pretty close. For the next step, so they don't fall out, you're going to take your twine or your string, whatever you have, unravel some of it. The scissors, obviously, you're going to cut that string. Then, with the string that you cut, you're going to tie off the end of your legs here, just so that those don't fall out since you're not using anything sturdy. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, no fancy knots or anything. Just enough to where you create like that little knot so nothing's going to be getting through that. Now, I'm going to knot mine one more time. Tie it off nice and pretty. Alright, so. It's alright if you have some extra, you can just trim it off for the sake of time. I'm not going to here. Just do the same thing to the other leg. You can cut it. Make sure you guys can cut it, please. Make sure your scissors are sharp enough. Now, you don't want to do it too long, so just kind of fold the leg in half a little bit. Tie it closer to the end so you can still fit your legs in there. Then just tie off your legs. And you're good. Tie mine one more time. I did a total of 3 little knots here. Again, I'm just going to tie it off. If you have extras, just trim it off. For the sake of this one, I'm not going to. So, your pants should now look like that with knots at the end of them. Which is good. So, what you're going to do from there is take the blankets that you rolled up and put one in each of the legs. So, I'm going to start off with my left, probably your guys' right. And just gonna keep putting them in. So you got it all the way to the bottom. Now, see how my leg's nice and fluffed up? There you go. See, we got one leg formed, which is good. Now, you're gonna take the other one, and you're gonna put him in. Now, the only downfall about making one like this is that he won't stand by himself, so it's more of a ground one. And if it's longer, like this, just kind of tuck it in, so now you got a pair of pants with some legs. Now, for the next part, put them together, what you're going to want to do is take the pants, kind of smush them right there between the 2 pillows. Now, wherever my string went, hold on, let me take a second to find that. Did you guys take my string? I'm just kidding. It's right here. Alright, so you're going to take it. Make sure you unravel a decent amount because you're going to need this to tie your dummy's body together. Now, I have an extra blanket that I could have used. You can always put that on the inside. If you have one skinny arm, one long, you can also shove it in the waist for the pants so you got more of a thicker waist so it's not so thin. For mine, I just used the blanket that was a little bit longer. Now, you're going to take the string, slide it around them here, and then, since shoved it right here in between, you should have what is beginning to look like a body. You can't see there. So then, what you're going to do with the string is just going to take it. You got to kind of just keep it there until you get it nice and wrapped tightly. For this, I would say make sure it's even at the top, like this, so that you get nice and even so you're not cutting yourself short. You're going to take it, and you're going to pull nice and tight. Hold on. Now, remember what I was saying earlier, where sometimes the waist gets a little bit floppy. So, that's when you just take your other blanket. That's why I said 5. This one, just fold it a few times. Just get it nice and bigger. If you also have a pillow, you can use that again. Then this, you're just going to shove it in the waist here. Then you got a little bit of a thicker waist. Now, for the sake of this one, I'm going to grab another blanket, so that makes 6, because that one was a little small. And do the same thing, fold up a few times, put it in the waist. This one you can fold it in half. You can fold it in half again. Then just fold. Doesn't matter how many times. Until you get a thickness that you like with the arms and the legs, but preferably with the arms, I would use one blanket, and same with the legs so they're not too thick. So once you guys got everything in the place, as you can see here, though I told you guys probably to zip up the jacket, that's fine. You can do it that way, or unzip it. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you to get your legs. Then, once you got your legs completely ready to go, all tied up and everything, you're going to take them, put them right here in the middle of the pillow. Then, you're going to try to squash this pillow down just enough to where you can get both sides of the jacket over. Then, once you guys got that all done, zip it up. Now, you're almost complete, but you're going to take string. You can use something like this. It's a little bit thinner, so if you have thicker stuff, that'd be great. Or you can use paracord, which is what I'm going to use for the sake of video here. Together, like I said, take string or whatever you got here. Now, preferably decently long in case you mess up. Make sure it's even. You're going to begin, try to get in the middle of the body, so like kind of in the middle of the pockets if you have any on your jacket or hoodie, whatever you're using. If you're using a hoodie kind of right above the pocket, I'll go right here. You're going to take it, make sure it's even. Then you're going to start with your tying. Once you pull it tight, kind of go underneath here, grab it, make sure that will help you keep it tight. Then when you got it there, you're gonna pull it tight again, just enough so you don't pop the other string. Then once you got it tied there, make sure it's tight. You can tie that final knot. Now, what do you know? You have successfully completed your training dummy. And look, the legs won't fall out either, as long as you tie it in the right spot. Now, this one kind of won't stand on its own. You can try, if you guys know anyway. That's one of the perks of having a punching bag one, but this one's great for if you're doing groundwork. So, I got my handcuffs here. So, If I got a guy just enough, like I said, remember, keep the wrist out. I'm gonna cuff him now. I'm gonna put the cuffs right here. I'm gonna cuff him. Like so. Make sure you have to thin the wrist a little bit because sometimes it gets hard to put the cuffs on, but once you got the cuffs on, you should be fine. Now, look. You got your cuffs on your guy now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for next time.